Hey guys, sorry I actually announced the wrong game. We're going in to watch KGSZL against Team Singularity first, not the losers bracket, but the winners bracket. So that's going to be quite exciting, and we will also get to see, give Vivi's Adventure a little bit of a break. So I do want to talk about that. Quite demoralizing and unfortunate loss. We both expected Vivi's Adventure to perform a lot better, and actually, in the group stages, we definitely saw a couple of 2-0 matches where, the score is 2-0, but they were a lot closer, and potentially there would have been a different score of 2-1 and so on. But in this situation, Singularity were just like head and shoulders better than Vivi's Adventure after the first loss. So it'll be interesting to see how they match up against KGSZL.
Oh yeah, it will be very interesting. And already with this match, we'll find out the first team that gets over to the LAN finals, which is also a big thing. They already get a bigger chunk of money, and we'll get to meet them in person right there, I guess. And that's also something. I mean, the LAN tournaments in Overwatch, it's also a little bit of a bigger thing. And also, Vivi's Adventure, they've been the dominant ones on the online tournaments and matches. It's been said in their introductory video in the group stages, and you can already just go over to Google and find Vivi's Adventure. They have a ton of first places out there, but with pretty minor prize pools, I would say. So right here, it's a chance for them to show on LAN finals, really get some of that LAN experience going, win another tournament for themselves, and really get the recognition up, and probably rank themselves up also in Europe if they would be able to beat Singularity. But for now, it just seemed like it is completely out of the reach. So we'll see if KGSZL will get a better shot. But in my opinion, Singularity is on a very straight road to victory right here.
Absolutely, they performed really well. And, I was having a look at the team organization, Team Singularity's website, and just what they have up there. And one of their goals for the Overwatch team is to reach top 10 this year in the world. Currently they're ranked 26, so it's definitely a very ambitious goal. But the way they're playing and the way they played in the group stages is quite similar to kind of those pro teams that we see that are competing at places like Apex and so on. That clean kind of gameplay, very coordinated, and all the players in sync with one another. So it's exciting to see them in this sort of tournament where, and potentially I wonder where they will be at the end of the year.
Oh yeah, that's also an interesting thing. And also, like, with how exciting the Legend Series in Overwatch this far has been, I'm also wondering whether we're gonna organize another one. We also saw some good voices from the chat saying that the Legend Series is an amazing tournament, and actually for some people it's been more exciting than Contenders at some point, really. And we also got some amazing teams in here too, with real good players all over the place, and that's really lovely to see. Maybe Netherlands will do a little bit better next time, or maybe it's going to be the main teams taking part in here. Maybe we're going to get to see some of the real top European teams in here. Well, but then contracts might be also a little bit of a problem, since some of them are exclusively contracted to some leagues, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, nevertheless, we're already getting into the game. It's going to be Lee Jung Tower to kick it off. And during the break, I've been wondering about the chances of KGSZL up against Singularity right here. And I said that the King of the Hill maps might be the best ones for them, really, actually. Especially with Kib. If you have such a great Lucio, it's so much easier for you to do well on these King of the Hill maps. So kicking off with Lee Jung Tower, I think that this is going to be as close as it gets between these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely interesting to see kind of how they'll do. And in a way, actually, from the gameplay that we saw in the first series of KGSZL against NC, it seems like KGSZL is playing more like we expected Vivi's Adventure to kind of play. So, they're being very aggressive, and whilst I wasn't entirely sure if they would end up being very dominant, they absolutely have been. So it'd be exciting to see how they do against such a, the team like Singularity, who have been playing so well throughout this whole tournament. And already we can see Mande just putting out the damage and then slowly backing away, never being in any danger. We have one down on either side of the teams though, whilst they skirmish here outside. And I think this is where KGSZL, so I talk a lot about this, and it kind of carries over from League of Legends, which is another game that I cast and I'm a big fan of, is this idea of tempo and momentum. And you've got to force the other team to play your game. So you've got to force them to come to you when you want them to come to you, or force them into uncomfortable positions, and you are in that dominant position. And that was something that VV's Adventure were very good at, because they were so aggressive, and unfortunately they weren't. But Singularity is someone, all of their players seem to understand where they need to be positioned, what they need to be doing, to make sure that they are never really threatened or challenged in such a way that the other team is able to just take over.
We've got a big pulse bomb from Sharp, although the replies from the other side are also quite big. There's going to be Nerfed and Craigie fighting some kills. Transcenders from the other side to try and keep alive the KGSZL lineup inside the points, and Gustav's also going to be charging up, trying to throw it down, and Danny's going to lose his mecha. It's a little bit of an issue out there, but unluckily he's not able to survive either himself. Leoded's launching the visor out there, and a lot of people seem to be some fans of Leoded's out there in the chat and saying take my energy. In my opinion, after seeing the first matchup, I think that he's also going to need a little bit of that energy, because he's not yet on the performance that he's had in the group stage. I think that he can do even better. And once again, something that you pointed out last time we saw Lijiang Tower, it's that it's important, it's necessary to have more than just 1 point down to the point really right here from KGSZL. If they're still once again able to really perform only on Night Market, it's gonna be a problem. But on Night Market again, it just looks real overwhelmingly good.
Yeah, and if there is a team that's able to break down the gameplay of another team and take advantage of it, it's going to be Singularity. But like you said, Leoded hasn't been performing as well as he has in group stages, but Shax, Askoff definitely have been stepping up, so is Kib. So we're looking at these opportunities, and so far, you know what, KGSZL have been doing great, because they've been holding on to the point. It's 95% at the moment. Mandate just managed to get 2 kills though, so maybe Singularity will be able to turn this around and capture the point. And with what looks like 4 dead, it definitely seems that way. But at 99%, it's a very strong opening from KGSZL.
Yeah, but it's also a little bit weird, I would say, because in many of these team fights, Singularity have done very well, but they've never really been able to take over the points. Even on the initial fight, it seemed like they would be the ones to have a better opportunity of going for it, but somehow it was the red team that took it over. Then it was a great pulse bomb from Sharp, the victorious team fight, and then once again they got wiped out. And once again, Kib just gets to show how strong he is on that Lucio. Throws out a Diva with a mecha, getting rid of that big power in the lineup of Singularity all by himself was a nice achievement, but it's not happening anymore. Now they are the ones being wiped out. Very perfect control and pure control of that point, actually, from Singularity. They're not letting the enemies any kind of close to the point even.
But that was a huge play just coming out of Mandy. He got a pentakill, quadra kill using his visor. Tactical visor, so that was monstrous. But we'll see what KGSZL, I feel like they thrive in this kind of chaotic gameplay, like unexpected play. Like you said, I think they're a team of friends and not necessarily as polished, but they're able to make it work and do very well. And right now Leoded has just popped his visor on the point, trying to do some damage. There's a good transcendence coming out of Lin, but Leoded is putting a lot of pressure, staying alive around the back, and he's back on the point, taking out Danny's. No, he doesn't take it out, and he manages to kill Nerf, but ends up suiciding, and that's 4 dead on the side of KGSZL. And this must be getting a bit nervous for them, because it's now 80% for Singularity.
Yep, and the Shax also had to just dodge out so many of the abilities out there, just climb up the walls over and over again. He exhausted a little bit of time from the enemy team, but he wasn't able to really achieve much until the moment he got the support from the man that you mentioned. So they had to waste 2 people to just take down 1, and then they both suicided, really. Now, we were really close to KGSZL actually taking the point, but then they get chased down. Oh my goodness, the visor! It takes out the Tracer, the Lucio, and everybody falling down, falling apart. This is going to be 1-0 in favor of Singularity, and this is Night Market, the point where KGSZL really exceed. And yes, they got 99%, but if we're on their best point, they're not even able to take one. There's a big chance that we're going to end up having Lijiang Tao with a 3-0 in favor of Singularity. So right now, KGSZL really have to give their best. If they lose this one, I'm going to just state that it's 3-0, really.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's very scary because it was a really good performance out of Singularity there, and it didn't seem like they panicked. They knew that they could retake the point, and once they held it, they were. But I wouldn't write KGSZL off just yet. They're a very strong team with a lot of really good players that can come up clutch. As we saw, Ascoft has managed. Shax managed to get a couple of triple kills and Sharp as well. So we'll just have to see what ends up happening on this second map. Mande has swapped off of the Soldier 76, and we'll have to see what he's able to make happen with this McCree at the moment. Craigie's now on the Soldier 76 as opposed to his Tracer.
Let's see, Kib once again on this point, he's especially able to just dominate with his Lucio, and as I mentioned, I'm very fond of his performance. Manze on this McCree won, but then taken down by Sharp actually, and the point is open with only a blue member of the team of Singularity being out there, but Nerfed now being assaulted by 4 people, actually, yeah, 3 to 4 out there. Has to get away, has to call in for some support. Now Shax has got to be careful. Going up against the Winston isn't easy as that Genji of his, but he's able to take him down before his death though. And yeah, even though you've got Kib with an amazing Lucio, you've got Kellex with maybe an even better one. So Singularity are just showing their force.
Yeah, they really are. No one else seems to be coming close to them. And if KGSZL were able to beat Ense, and they're struggling against Singularity, and VVs were lost quite significantly, you know, and easily against Singularity. It looks like Singularity are really a cut above from everyone else. Mande is sticking to this McCree and looking to just kind of push back KGSZL, but I think we just need to kind of focus on, it's too quick and too easy to just write them off because they are still a very strong team, and we've seen what they're able to do against very established teams on the other side.
Well, for now, Leoned's once again just jumping down, being able to pick up the McCree and confidently actually sticking to it now that he's got the Deadeye. It's going to be a little bit easier in my opinion, but yes, the dominance is just being laid down. The strong hand of Singularity is just holding back the entire KGSZL, and now it just starts to fall apart. This Ascopt hops in and dies instantly, but the Sharp and Shax, they've got some good ideas. Shax still has the Dragon Blade, but he's not going for it just yet. He's still on full HP, which is important. He's going to probably hold on to it too. Maybe they control the point late, but what? He dies to the self-destruct, not being able to use the ultimate with the Deadeye also. Gustav is taken out, and Ascoff managing to make it back into the team fight. I don't think it's going to fix anything really, since the DPS is still standing on the other side. Craigie and now Manze respawning. He's going to be hopping in no time. 90% and still ticking in the favor of the blue team. Singularity will have to deal with Shax's ultimate right now, but they have a very easy counter up against that. The Transcendence right in his face, and he even gets killed off by Kellex. Boop, out of the map.
That was like a huge throw by the side of KGSZL. They had a really good setup. The opportunity was right there, and then just at the end they made a few mistakes. But Leoded's waking up. His visor's really good, but it's too little, too late. Mande manages to get a couple of kills at the end, and that is now 2-0 for Singularity. And as we said, you know, it's a bit concerning that KGSZL only looked really strong on Night Market, and it doesn't look like they're able to compete on the other maps. So it's really it's a very concerning when your map pool is so weak. And I would be, to be honest, I would be actually vetoing this map if you're only strong on one, because you can't rely on just getting Night Market again and again. So we'll just
also
have to...
On Lijiang Tower, it's gone down mostly to Night Market, and they were able to grab it 3-2 against NC, who are playing with a stand-in. And then also on Route 66, it was so close to getting the third and fourth round out there, but somehow, unluckily for NC, they weren't able to grab the third point, really. So it's real tough for... there are no strong points for KGSZL as far as I can see right now. And also, some people even mentioned that Elfie was the best soldier that we've seen in the Legend series this far. Unfortunately, though, I don't think that he'll be playing anymore. And Nerved, he's thrown out of the map. He didn't manage to charge up his jump anymore. And at this point, Control Center is going to kick off with a slight dominance of KGSZL, I think, for now. But how long is it going to last? not too sure of that.
We'll just have to wait and see, but to be honest, they have been a very good team if they're able to get control of the point, and we saw that on the initial night market, where they managed to take it to 99%, so it's promising that they're able to do that. We'll have to see what they can do. Sharp is being incredibly annoying off on the side there. Mandate's trying to make something happen, but they are pressuring him, so he's not getting that room to breathe. To just wait and see what they can do, but Leodeds is nicely positioned, and there the ultimate economy on the side of KGSZL is actually really good. They have 3 ultimates at the moment, and another 3 in the 90s, so they should be getting them quite soon, whereas Team Singularity isn't. Mandate's trying to make something happen with his ultimate, but Leodeds is reacting really well, gets 1 kill, but the rest of the team is able to clean up, and that's 5 down on the side of Team Singularity. So KGSZL are really not taking those losses to heart and seem to be reacting really well and taking control of the map.
And trying with some good wording that he used right there. As soon as Mandate launched his tactical visor, he went down to about 20 HP really. So it was just 1 shot and he would have been dead. Right now they're regrouping again, and this time they're getting in. They're getting a little bit of space for themselves. Going right here, sound barrier's being thrown down. Danny right in the face of 2 of the DPS of the enemy team. He's soaking up a lot with the defense matrix, but he loses the mecha once again real quickly. Now Lin has to support them, back them up with that Tricetus as much as possible, but they're running out of the supportive ultimates. Now the kills have to go down, and they are. Calyx and Manze, the ones who find them. Now right in the middle of the fight is Kid, but him not being able to survive too long is also a big thing, as the point's finally going to be taken over. And it seems a little bit similar to what we've seen in Night Market, although it's not 99%. Now we've got right here on the side of the red team at 84. Nevertheless, it still probably would go down to a single team fight. However, not sure if they can get such a good team fight, KGSZL.
Yeah, we'll have
but they have ults.
But that was actually really impressive from Singularity. There were a number of heroes that got extremely low and nearly died, but they were kept alive by some really good gameplay from out of Calyx and Lind. So especially Lind with his healing orb. So we'll have to see what KGSZL is able to do, but that's a huge reaction out of Singularity. 4 down now on the side of KGSZL, 5 down, and Danny coming up big, taking out Leodeds and Shax.
Yeah, Shaq's barely making it out right there with a swift strike, but then had to still turn back towards the enemy team to try and get the health back for himself, or just to die as quickly as possible to regroup with the team. But it's just some more time exhausted off what KGSZL little have. 55, it's going to be at least 65 before they get a good shot at really taking it over. Nerf looking for some position for himself.
Sorry, just off camera. Craigie caught Leodeds out of position, kills him, which is going to stop the push for now, especially with Mando catching out Gustav. So that's slowing things down, and it's exactly those small little mistakes that KGSZL can't afford to give over to Singularity, who will take advantage of it and will just clean out these maps.
Well, there we go. Winston hopping in once again, but Askoff is just every single time going down pretty quickly. This time he's able to take down Nerf, which is quite big, but then with the self-destruct, they're eliminating Kib, who was real close to having the sound barrier and not having that crucial ultimate for one important team fight. It's going to be a big blow, but Shax getting a double kill combined with his Dragon Blade out there, and then they get rid of Danny. There's nobody else to really hold on to the point. It's going to be taken over, but with 99% in favor of the enemy team, and most of them already respawning. So it's going to go down to one last team fight, unless there's some big mistake made by Singularity and they don't really touch on it before it's over.
Yeah, no, that was a really great reaction out of Askoff and Shax, who jumped in and managed to get a couple of kills, which opened up the map, but Singularity is not giving them the opportunity to breathe. Mandic coming up with a big flank, reacting really well with the target prioritization. Look at him coming back to take out Shax. They definitely know who the key players are on KGSZL that they need to shut down, and it looks like they're going to be able to do that. 4 down on the side of KGSZL, but they're actually still contesting, surprisingly, and we saw these sorts of close matches in the group stage. I didn't expect it. Now Craigie is coming around, takes out Leodeds, and it looks like they're taking over. They have the point. Overtime is about to run out, but it's back on, and will they? Is KGSZL able to jump back on the path and stop? But I'm not entirely sure that they will be able.
Yeah, Gustav switched out for a Sombra right there. They're just missing the healing power. They're not going to have the survivability. They can extend it, but not until forever. And
Lind isn't dying. How is he able to just sit there on 60 health? That's huge. Singularity win it 3-0. So, impressive performance at the end there coming out of KGSZL. I definitely thought on that final map we saw a bit more life from them. But Singularity just seems to be a cut above the rest of the teams.
Oh man, Trey, you with that double kill. And yeah, I could clearly see that it was one of the crucial fights out there where there was no chance for KGSZL to really get any close to the point, and this has already happened on the night market. There was 99% for KGSZL, but as soon as Singularity laid their hands on that point, they wouldn't let the enemies get close to it. So the dominance that they laid out after having some space for themselves already is just outstanding. It's just overwhelmingly big. And now the map pick from KGSZL, but as I mentioned, Lijiang Tower, Nepal, these maps would have been the best shots for them really up against Singularity. What's coming now might be very similar to the Watchpoint Gibraltar that we've just seen from Vivi's Adventure.
Absolutely. It's interesting just to point out at the end there that Leodez did end up putting up about 15,000 points of damage, 25%, I think it was 27% of his team's damage, which is huge. But it just wasn't enough. And actually for 25% of the damage, it seems quite low. I would have been very curious to see what, Mande's damage points at the end of that match would have been. But it's fine. I think we saw that KGSZL can challenge Singularity if they get the right opportunities. It's just that they can't make those small mistakes, like being caught out of position, like Leo Dead's going down a hallway by himself and Craigie jumping on him and eliminating him, because it's those small mistakes that Singularity are able to exploit and then take over and win the whole series off of. So 1-0 to them, but wonder what the next map will be. It looks like they're going for Nepal. So like you said, that's probably going to be their best opportunity to get a win.
Yeah, and this is definitely the best choice that they can get out there, really, but not sure if it is going to be enough. Once again, on Nepal, there should be a possibility for Mande to go for McCree if he wants to.
Yeah.
And also, the fact that we saw this McCree already on Lijiang Towers, they were doing well on Garden, makes me think that once again, they're starting to feel the overflowing confidence like in their group. They used to play quite a bit of that McCree because they knew that nobody really can endanger them. Nobody really can take them down. So it's the same that they feel against KGSZL, and as I said, they might be the ones that take down the favorites really, but Singularity is just a little bit too much, and this just shows how scary it is. Singularity were able to so easily take down Vivi's Adventure. Now they're easily grabbing the final spot for themselves pretty much, as it looks like after the first map. It's not over yet, obviously, but this is the most likely scenario that we'll get to see. And then what happens in the LAN finals? Whoever gets through, I don't think that anybody has a better shot than Vivi's Adventure at them, so what's it going to be?
So far, yes, absolutely. I think Vivi seem to be the strongest, but you know what, KGSZL, I keep kind of not undermining them, but maybe underestimating them, because they have been really good. They beat NC, they won their group stages, and whilst we're talking Vivi's Adventure up a lot for their exciting gameplay that we saw in the group stage, I think KGSZL are extremely good team, and with people like Askov stepping up, they are also playing with a sub in Shax, so they're not in their strongest position, and they seem to be challenging Singularity the most, so I'm impressed by them.
Alright, Mande getting in as quickly as possible, and he's going for the Soldier to kick it off. Right here on Shrine, I would have expected McCree most likely, maybe on Sanctum too, but for now, nothing like that. Sharp's really close to dying. He's got to be careful on that Tracer. He's just such an important member of the team, and yeah, Mumbati wasn't able to do much against Singularity when they were playing on Watchpoint Gibraltar, so it's important that they do actually have a Tracer they can rely on. But as soon as Sharp jumps in, Lint's prepared to take him down. Some quick headshot from a Zenyatta if the Tracer's got a Discord Orb on her is an easy kill out there. I know from experience, unfortunately, and Leodeds. Is he going to be knocked away? Even if he doesn't, then he really wants to die at this stage, actually. And Singularity are kicking it off with the dominance for themselves, and that's scary because on both Night Market and Control Center on Lijiang Tower, the initial dominance from KGSZL was actually good, and then they weren't still even able to close it out. And now, not to mention, actually, the first team to take the point over being Singularity, I think it's just going to be worse.
Yeah, no, it is. If Singularity, well, we've seen what Singularity have been able to do when they are able to get a point and come out dominant, but Shax is looking to make something happen, but completely shut down straight away. That's 4 members down on KGSZL, and it looks like even with the ultimate, Singularity is able to shut them down and not give them any opportunity.
55% still ticking. Once again, when another team fight happens, it's going to be about 70 even. Craigie now getting eliminated. So that's a little bit of an opening. Leoded's getting a good catch on towards that man. And they have to look out for the Winston as he's hopping in. He's got the Discord orb on him though, and Nerf's also catching up to it. But Sharp, as I mentioned, there's a good tracer that they have on their side, and this is what they have to be looking for. Transcendence out there to try and protect them, but Lin still chimes in, chimes through on that Zenyatta of his. Shax though, once again going wild a little bit on that Genji of his, and will pretty much have maybe the Dragon Blade on the next up and coming fight. So just like this, there's an opportunity for KGSZL to get 2 victorious team fights in a row. That's already going to build them up like 50%, and that's something that's good. But since Singularity is already so close to capping and winning this first point in Shrine, it's once again, I just can't find any other words than scary.
Yeah, no, it's, yeah, it absolutely is, the way they're shutting things down. And when you have someone like Leodeds who, you know, he performs so well in the group stages, but he's being focused, and it looks like Singularity just understand who they need to shut down and how they need to shut down on the other teams. So, and the pressure that they're putting out and the ultimates they're forcing out is huge. But Shaq's coming up big with his ultimate, takes out 2 people, which hopefully will force things back, but KGSZL have to fall back ever so slightly, but they take out Kellex, and that's going to stop the push, it looks like. So they'll continue to rack up some points, with Sharp coming up huge there with a double kill, and Craigie deciding to commit suicide. But still 95% on the side of Team Singularity. We saw this in the first series where KGSZL would get to 99%. Singularity don't panic, they just get back on, they get control of the map, they get a few kills, they take over, and then it's done.
Well, let's see. Askov's got his Primal Rage. There's a Dragon Blade. There's a Transcendence. Also, Tactical Visor coming right up. While on the other side, there's max 2 ultimates ready at the moment, with Lin going down so easily. I don't think that they should even commit into this team fight. So MountainDew will be holding on to his Visor, and Nerfed also with his ult out there. But Lin, as soon as he has the Transcendence, then there might be a possibility out there to just open it up.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what happens, because we have a couple of ultimates on either side of the team. Lind is the closest one to get his on Singularity. The other members are, apart from Kellex are at 85%, but the other 2 are below 50, so it's quite far off, whereas Kib and Sharp are about to get their ultimate. So good ultimate economy on the side of KGSZL, and straight away Sharp gets his ultimate, chucks the pulse bomb, and gets 2 crucial kills. Leodeds though getting pressured now, forced to pop the visor, and that's neutralized, so he has to pull back. But let's see, Shax is able to get 2 kills, so 1 kill, sorry, and the mech. So this is huge. KGSZL playing really well, and this is exactly what I meant seeing them do. Look at that, they're able to take the second game, and this is exactly what I wanted to see from them, and why after having seen BB's Adventure match up against Singularity, I think KGSZL is the second best team in this tournament so far. When they kind of didn't panic so much and weren't playing so chaotically, they managed to match up quite nicely and took that second game, so, or the first one, and it'll be interesting to see what they now do on this map.
Oh man, and this is a good start, especially on Shrine, because if I remember correctly, KGSZL, they were also the ones that did well on Sanctum, so it's not like this time they only have a single point where they can exceed or something along these lines, like on Lijiang Tower, so it's a good start for sure. then maybe, just maybe, there will once again be an opportunity to just get going a little bit for Singularity, as I said, maybe with a McCree or Craigie. Also, somebody mentioned his Bastion in the chat, and then we already saw that single Bastion on Nepal in particular, and definitely in this point on Village. But it kicks off with an extremely good team fight for KGSZL, and I have to mention how I am especially proud of how Shax has done at the ending of Shrine out there, getting through 2 team fights very dominantly, but without using his Dragon Blade. So he was always safe, and he always had it.
So for people who aren't aware, basically during the group stages, KGSZL were playing with Zeus, which is what the Z in their name stands for. Unfortunately, he's on holiday, or I guess that's not too unfortunate, but he isn't able to play, so Shax has stepped in, and they've been performing really well, so I'd imagine that they'll be even better once they get their main player, Zeus, in, who really during the group stages was huge. But you know, 23% over for KGSZL, but Singularity is looking to try and challenge this, and Danny was on the point, but his mech is killed. Leo Dead's on Daria, and Sharp just playing really out of his mind. It seems like he's getting triple kill after triple kill, so that's great performance for KGSZL.
That's how great it starts, really. And now they are making me believe that also Village might be quite doable for them too. And then if they get to Sanctum, I don't doubt that they can even take it a 3-0 clean sweep for themselves. And we also saw some people mentioning it was a 3-0 on Lijiang Tower, such a clean sweep. So why would they go for another King of the Hill map? That's exactly why. The only chances that they have against Singularity really are on King of the Hill maps. So yeah, I really like that decision from the side. I
don't think that was a bad decision. What I find interesting is why are they allowing Lijiang Tower to go through when they only seem to be strong on Night Market? That's my question. Maybe they're getting better performances in scrims, so we don't know that, so that there is a possibility that the team does actually just feel very confident on the map, but their performance so far hasn't been excellent, so I'm a little bit surprised. But on the other side, so still 90% now for KGSZL. We're now having a fight, and this is really going to be it for Team Singularity. They have a lot of ultimates, and it looks like they will be able to capture the point. It's really close, and there we go. They capture the point. They have 4 ultimates at the moment. So are we going to see a huge comeback from Team Singularity, and are they going to take this map?
Well, so once again, it gets to that real dangerous point for KGSZL where they kick off with 99%, but they've never really been able to close it out like this. On Shrine, actually, it was Singularity who opened it up, if I remember correctly, and I think I do. So there we go, Askov hopping in real aggressively, but he's pushed off instantly right off the bat, really. Mande getting a double kill with the tactical visor, but most importantly, before the team fights even started, their Genji's gone down, and without Shax, it was just a little bit too hard to figure anything out.
Yeah, that's crazy. Just really good. And this is the thing about Singularity. It seems like no matter how close they are to losing, they never panic. They just stay very focused and just come back. You know, a lot of teams at 98%, 99%, they start to scramble. They start to throw 1 or 2 people in at a time, just individually, and that actually loses them the match because they just throw 1 person in at a time and they get eliminated, and then they lose out. But never Singularity. They seem to always know, like, okay, we can come back, we can turn this around, and it doesn't matter if it's only 1 point that the other 1% that the other team needs. Singularity will deny them that, take the point, and then just win it. And already we're seeing this. So it's 70. It's going to be 80%. KGSZL just lost it, but they do have 5 ultimates at the moment. Unfortunately, Sound Barrier is only at 60%, so it looks like they'll need to go into this fight without it. But this, I think, is going to be the deciding fight. And we're following Shax, who is trying to... He's holding onto his Dragon Blade.
Good start.
Sedin comes out. Leo Dead gets taken off by Craigie. Kellex takes out Gustav. Here comes the Dragon Blade. They're trying to get that Mandy. It's a crucial kill, but Askov and Kib go down. But can Shax do something? He's dead, though. That is it. It looks like Singularity are going to tie this series up 1-1.
Okay, so that's got to be 1-1, as I mentioned. As soon as they get the 99% and are not able to close it out instantly, KGSZL just struggle as hell to really get that home. But the beginning of this team fight was not actually bad. As you mentioned, instantly Leodez got taken out with his Zarya, but he did use the Graviton Surge, so he was trying to set up a team fight for his team, but there was nobody ready to deliver the damage on the two people that were caught up in the Surge. So that's a little bit unlucky, and that's where it started to go downhill for them now. We're transferring over to Sanctum, and I'm still quite confident that it should be a good point for KGSZL. But then on the other hand, for Singularity, since they dominated Lijiang Tower so much, I'm thinking that maybe it's better to just get the comfortable mindset going for them again and just maybe pick up McCree.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. I kind of think... I think it's worth mixing things up, and I'm a bit disappointed by the lack of Doomfist, but perhaps it's not as strong as we were led to believe by Mix. But explosive kind of start here, lots of skirmishing. Danny managed to get kills. Shaxx coming up big again, really good substitute in. And to be honest, if I hadn't seen how strong Zeus had been in the group stages, I would be saying that maybe Shaxx should be a permanent member, but Zeus was definitely a monster on his Genji as well.
And yeah, it's starting to make us think whether they're going to become a real solid team, or whether they're going to make it a mix forever, or just fall apart completely if they don't get any success in 2 or 3 tournaments anymore. I don't know, but for now it's kicking off in the very favor of Singularity, and so very easily, practically taking no casualties out there. Once again, a good setup. Whenever I see that Winston and the wardrobe out there, I'm already glad, because they know how to execute that lockdown on the entry room.
Absolutely, but they're trying to push out. Leodez is being aggressive, which is great to see. The team is regrouped, they're pushing around, and I wonder if are they going to break this lock. It looks like they are. Danny's mech is nearly dead. It's jumping away. Leodez pops the visor to secure the kill. Danny goes down with his mech, but Craigie able to get a kill, and Lind crucially taking down Shaxx, who's so important. Now Mandix taking out Kib, and this is, it doesn't matter if KGSZL is able to get 1 kill if they have to give up 4 or 5 deaths as a result.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And now Askov just chase back further and further and further. They cannot even get close right here, and that's all the more value. It happens 2 times, it already racks up to about 15%. That takes away 1 team fight, 1 opportunity that you would normally get out there. That's why it's the dominance, when you have that dominant playstyle that BB's Adventure usually had, is just so rewarding here on Sanctum, especially on the PAL.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And look at this, just Amanda's sitting really far back, really, he's in no, as I say, he's in no danger. Sharp suddenly comes out of nowhere and just kills him, so I'm about to eat my words. Leodez manages to get a kill, and they're jumping into the point, not giving up at all, which is really good to see. Nerf trying to chase down the Lucio, he does manage. Danny gets taken out as well, and it looks like they're going to be able to cap the point, and I wonder if they'll be able to turn things around.
Yep, and this is a good shot for them. Maybe it's just going to be the same way for both the teams. If you just get an initial advantage, you will not have a chance of winning the point, actually, but, well, it would actually build up to a nice advantage for KGSZL if they would be able to get the Sanctum right here. That would increase their chances of actually being able to win a single map in here, as then once again I think Shrine would be very much in their favor. Shaxx cutting everybody down, and they take it a level further even as they rush straight up towards the enemy's respawn, with Ascot hopping in on Primal Rage, with Shaxx also going in with the Swift Strikes out there.
Shaxx actually had a beautiful flank there, and Craigie tried to take him down, but Shaxx with a very predictive reflection, and then turned around knowing where Craigie would rewind to and actually nearly killing him. So that's a monstrous play coming out of him, and if he isn't a permanent player on a team, I think someone needs to look into picking him up, because I'm super impressed by him. And he pops out the Dragon Blade, but gets completely shut down by Mande, who is a monster in his own right. Singularity is pushing in and not allowing KGSZL to get away with the points. It looks like they're about to cap the point. It's so close, and if they do, I think KGSZL are going to lose this match. It's just,
man,
there's a
so
pixel we're waiting for. Leodez is not letting it happen though. It's killing everyone. He takes out the mech. He's trying to shoot, and they yeah, he does. No, wait, what?
Yeah, he did.
No, that is suicide. Yes, I thought you said and then he suicides. That's a bit of a loss in translation. My apologies.
Yeah, but I thought that they would actually still stand their ground for a little bit. They had a 3-on-3 going out there, but then Danny just tries to fly out of the map, and I'm already a little bit disappointed that they didn't put up a bigger fight out there. But, well, thus they're getting themselves another good, solid team fight with all 6 people completely prepared and going in, but they don't have a single ultimate. But up against it, it's going to be just a pulse bomb, but in close quarters, it's going to take down Nerfed and also deal a lot of damage on towards that mecha of Danny's, and missing a D.Va, missing a Winston. It's already getting quite tough as Calyx is holding onto the point though, and he takes it over somehow, so just take care of that. Sharp is nearly taken down by Mande from behind, but then Mande's taken care of by Shax, who's once again looking for some good opportunity for himself, and will go down to the OTs. But Nerf, can he do something all alone? Of course he can't, and Danny also jumping in with the defense matrix, but there is also a Discord orb on him, and it's being hit from behind and from the front and from the flanks, from everywhere. Calyx also cut down, and I think that this point should belong to the red team.
That is a really good turnaround from KGSZL, because it must be so incredibly demoralizing to get to 98-99% and then lose the point and lose the whole match. So I think if that had happened to them again, we could have just seen a swift 2-0 in the favor of Singularity. But KGSZL turning it around, some really good play from Shax and Askov coordinating there at the end, and they're able to now go 2-1 against Singularity. And if they're able to win this, it will be tied 1-1, so that'll be exciting to see.
Oh yes, for sure it would, but actually no, I'm not going to be so skeptical. I think it is very much possible for KGSZL to grab the Nepal successfully for themselves, but I also have a feeling like Singularity didn't show all their cards, that they still are hiding something. They could overpower the enemy easily, because as I said, like, there was this opportunity of picking up a Bastion and dominate with an Ana out there, with a Reinhardt even joining the fray. There was a McCree picked up on some of the occasions by this very team, and right here somehow they're just not deciding to do so at all.
Yeah, I don't think they necessarily need to. You know, so far they've just played this traditional dive comp. It's worked out really well for them, and why change it if it's working? So I definitely see, and I wouldn't want to show it out, because at the end we still have the LAN finals coming up. You know, first place wins a significant cash prize, so they definitely don't want to reveal any tricks that they might not need to.
Well, here we go. The red team trying to take it over as much as possible, but Leo Dead's, well, he's going to be going down as soon as his team started regrouping. That's a little bit unlucky, and they're going to be missing that D.Va for quite a bit of time. And also, Leo Dead switching over to a D.Va, it's not something that we've seen so often, actually.
No, but it might be, they might be panicking at this point, because it looks already at 35% on for Team Singularity, and KGSZL haven't really had a solid opportunity to retake that point. And with Team Singularity having won all the other maps seemingly fairly easily, KGSZL might think that they need to swap things up and see if it works better for them. But they're definitely, now the whole team is pushing in together. Craigie is standing there. Shax is popping his ultimate to try and take out the healers, but he isn't able to, and he's shut down with a completely useless ultimate. Mande and Lin coordinating really well. Mande running straight in, trying to do damage. Washop does get one stick. It looks like it's not going to be as huge. Mande's just like, for me, Mande is actually the MVP so far of the tournament.
Yeah, and the self-destruct actually completely pointless from Leo there. It's actually, interestingly enough, as a fun fact, it looked like he killed himself with it, really, but that was a moment when he died off the hands of Nerfed, and 90% out there already. This is just looking so one-sidedly crushing in the favor of Singularity, and they still have a couple of their ultimates charged up that I don't think it would be possible for KGSZL to really do anything anymore. And let's take a look at that. Gustav is chased away as he launches the Transcendence of his own. And that's a big surprise. Not a positive one, really. But there's a sound barrier ready from Kid, but he launches it right now. Askop, that kind of saves his life out there. And he's still close to going down until the moment he gets healed up a little bit and they start winning the team fight. So,
but this is it. You know, like we think KGSZL might be out of it, but they managed to come back and win the team fight. A couple of, you know, after Gustav's Transcendence popped in, didn't seem to be too effective. I thought that was it, like you were saying, but they managed to pull it out. So we'll have to see. But Singularity are regrouping. KGSZL is only at 20%, so there's not really any pressure for the moment. And Danny coming in from behind, and is he actually going to capture this point by himself because there's no one on it? They take out Viv already, but this is huge. What is he doing?
So close. Danny finally gets it as the kill on Shark comes through, and now they have to deal with just a couple of more enemies on their side. And there was no Primal Rage. There were so many ultimates used up by KGSZL coming into this last team fight, so that they had nothing to protect themselves right now. And I was just about to mention before that team fight started that, well, 99% racked up by Singularity. Yeah. Normally it should be KGSZL to take the point from now on, apparently, but that's not the case this time, at least. And we'll be transferring ourselves over the Shrine. That's worked out so well for KGSZL, and especially Shax, but will it be the same here?
That was just a massive throw on the side of KGSZL right there. I think they were perfectly positioned, but they just allowed Danny to dart in with his Diva and capture the point, basically by himself with no one reacting. And that's you know, if you're going to make those sorts of mistakes at a tournament where you have competitors like Team Singularity who are able to just take those opportunities and win off the back of that one mistake, you're not going to be able to compete at the top tier.
Well, let's find out how this one last point goes, because it might be the last map that Singularity really need to grab themselves a grand final spot.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but like initial kind of conflict, it comes out in the favor of KGSZL with them getting one kill. They take out Danny's mech, so it'll be interesting to see. They've captured the point, so this is promising, but so many times they've gotten to 99% and Singularity have managed to turn it around. But hopefully mentally KGSZL aren't defeating themselves.
Yeah, and also it kicked off a little bit differently last time on Shrine. Right here it was actually Singularity to take the point first.
Yep.
And then they just completely lost the point, and Shax was able to just zone them out completely, even without the use of his Dragon Blade. But now maybe it's going to be a little bit different. Mandate to get the kill on Shax, the man himself, with the Helix rockets, then tries to continue on. Sharp instantly dies as soon as he receives some damage. Askov was also under heavy fire from the Soldier 76 on the other side now, actually clearing out this point a tiny bit with Leo Denz's tactical visor, and it's not a bad one at all. Mande now has the Harmony Orb on himself, that's why he can just jump around out there being attacked by the Lucio and Genji and also a Soldier all the time, and they're gonna take it back again.
4 kills for Mande there, 2 for the tactical visor and then 2 on Shax and Sharp. Both super mobile heroes, but he just understands, and he's a fan of Vivi's adventure, as you can see whenever he puts down his tag. It's nice of him to support the other team that's just one ranking below him in Europe. So, you know, but he definitely beat them. So I guess gracious in victory. So we'll have to see now what can KGSZL do, because they've lost the point at the moment. Shax is trying to make something happen, but unfortunately it's a bit ineffective, and he's just forced back onto the point without having done too much. And the rest of the team is just around there. Craigie's on the side.
Oh, interesting. Craigie up the side, as you mentioned, and he's able to catch Askov, who was looking for a health pack out there. And that's pretty big, because I was supposed to say that Leo Deads had some real good position for himself, but then Craigie coming in from the flank was a little bit annoying to him. But it turned out that Craigie was the essential member of the team to take out this flank from the enemy team. He killed off Askov, he limited whatever Leo Deads could have done out there, and then Leo was just sitting with Gustav all the time. That Zenyatta also was slightly limited, and that way, just with a single Tracer, you get rid of 3 people pretty much. It's big. Yeah,
no, definitely. Interesting kind of reaction. I think at this point, so Singularity have taken the lead, and I think KGSZL need to just kind of try and build up their ultimates and go for that big fight in about 10.
But it hurts.
But when you have 4 people that are taken out just like that, that's a team wipe. That's a whole team wipe right there. No one lost on Team Singularity. That enables them to get their ultimate economy much closer. So 3 people have an ultimate, 2 people have it coming up, whereas on KGSZL, only Leodets has his. Shax is up now, he's at 80%, but it looks like that's it. It looks like we're going to see Team Singularity 2-0 KGSZL.
Oh, well, let's just wait a little bit longer because MountainDew is just unleashing his tactical advisor once again. So indeed, they just confirm your words from a moment ago. They throw out all the ultimates to just make sure they will secure the victory. Singularity being the first finalists of the Overwatch Legends series right here, ladies and gentlemen. Now we just have to get another team to match up against them from the pool of KGSZL, VV's Adventure, and also NC Gaming that will be playing against VV right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. It would be very interesting to see what ends up happening. But Singularity just a cut above everyone else. Actually, I would say that the team that was closest to challenging them were Mix in the group stages.
Yeah, might have been.
VV's Adventure definitely wasn't able to. And KGSZL, whilst showing a little bit of life, still lost 2-0, whereas I think in the final Singularity won it 2-1. But regardless, I remember Mix getting very close to winning a couple of games, so that was much more exciting. But Singularity coming out huge and absolutely deserved. So they will now definitely be going to our LAN final, which we'll be announcing tomorrow on August the 10th. We'll be telling you the location and the dates, and that will be exciting. But that's guaranteed them at least second place in the whole tournament. So they must be very happy about that.
Yeah, and this is already a little bit of that prize money, and as I mentioned, already a little bit of LAN experience out there. They're already hyped, as I can see, about qualifying to the LAN, so yeah, see you guys there. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you too, Lind, as he's saying in the chat right there.
I know, right?
So
we can see Kellex going crazy. Very happy.
Yeah, so now NC versus VV's Adventure, and VV's actually with an underwhelming performance against Team Singularity. Now they'll have to get through 2 teams in order to be able to join Singularity right there on the LAN, and if they don't, then they completely disappoint our expectations pretty much. I have to already say that. So they're going to be the ones to be expected to go through. But KGSZL getting so close on Nepal, they will try to get Nepal against VV's Adventure, then they might be able to win 1 map, and then who knows what might happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll have to just wait and see. But now NC against VV's Adventure. VV's has had some time to kind of reset whilst it was a decisive loss against Singularity. Singularity were very good, so be exciting to see what they can do against NC. But I'm a bit worried after seeing that second match. So I think it could be. Whereas before I was kind of looking at VV's as the second best team in the tournament. Now I'm not so sure.
Yeah, that's the thing, and maybe not even the second best team, because I remember at some point you saying that them being the best one for sure, and I also thought the same.
Yeah.
But then Singularity also, we saw them, that they were struggling a little bit against that Doomfist of Leafs, who was just amazing. But then we also thought that maybe their group isn't testing them so much because they only played against 2 teams, and I was also looking for a little bit of a performance from YP. But now that we get into the playoffs right here, we see that Singularity are indeed the top 1 for now.
And I mean, also, like, at the end of the day, Mix was a newer team, and they were just coming together, a couple of friends and so on, so it wasn't as polished. Like, they didn't even have a team Twitter handle, which they've now created, so you can go find them. I think it's at MixyMix or Mixy_Mix, but really talented team, and I'm actually excited to see what they end up doing. So far, VV, but whilst we're saying that VV's Adventure maybe didn't perform as well as we expected them to. In the first game, they absolutely did. It was just the second one where they seemed to roll over and die. But I'm definitely looking for Mumbati to continue playing as well as he was in the first game. And maybe Lolsis and Henzu to step up a little bit, because I saw them play better in the group stages. So hopefully they're able to step it up and give us a bit of a closer match. But on the other side, I don't know, NC were playing well. I know they were watching. They lost to KGSZL, but it was fairly close.
Never gonna give you